So just checking that you are live. Welcome everyone to the VC Shark Tank pitching session. It's a pleasure to have you all with us today. So today's session is dedicated to the digital healthcare and medtech startups. We are still receiving people, welcoming people. Okay, here's Alexander. Meanwhile, while everybody is here, I'll tell you a bit about the process of the session. So in the beginning, I will be welcoming investors. They'll be telling us more about their investment strategy and the investment focus mainly. Then we can start the pitching. Every startup has to pitch for 5 minutes. And in the end, and after each pitching, there will be a time for Q&A. And in the end, investors, if we have time, it would be great if you can give us some recommendation for startups on how to ameliorate their pitch decks or their pitching. So I believe we can start. I'd like to welcome first Vince. He is from the US. He is actually a Silicon Valley investor, VC and early stage investor. He is also a startup coach and an author. I'm sure, Vince, you do other things as well. You can tell us more about yourself. And thank you again for joining us. Welcome, Vince.
First, I would love to welcome everybody and Mark and Kate, if she's available. And it was a very smooth experience, and I really love your platform. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vince Coley. I'm actually dialing in from San Francisco. I've been doing angel investing since year 2009, currently empowering and investing in fintech, Web3, medtech, and life sciences businesses and founders. And my core focus is actually helping early stage founders, which basically means if they have a design thinking idea, I really start from that thesis and really help them to hyper scale, hyper growth along the way. So thank you and welcome everybody.
Thank you so much, Vince. It's a pleasure having you with us today, and thank you for what you said about our platform. Now I'd like to welcome Alexander from UK. He is the general partner at Indus Ventures. Welcome, Alexander. It's a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. I'm an emerging VC. Just establishing myself in the UK market, currently in fundraising mode, but also, still trying to maintain some deal flow. Solo GP, raising a 10 to 15 million pound fund to finance, currently UK focused, but that's a logistic reason for being at the beginning of my journey. AI, pre-seed and seed stage AI, machine learning and analytics focused healthcare organizations. I'm also a mentor in the UK for the P4 Precision Medicine Accelerator. Also do some venture scouting on the side for a small VC based out of Chicago in the US called Rebel One. So refer deals into them as well. But happy to speak to some of you offline and give more detail later.
Thank you so much, Alexander. So today we have not only investors, but coaches and mentors as well. So startups, you are in good hands. And now I think we can start the pitching. I'd like to welcome first Mahendra from India. He's the founder and CEO of Benovimet. He has also a large experience in many things. He can tell us more about himself. Welcome, Mahendra.
Good afternoon. My name is Mahendra Singh, and I'm Benovimet founder and CEO, promoter of company. And we are a deep tech health tech startup working in AI health, working to digital health, telemedicine, innovation technology, and we know how to basically monetize the technology, because I'm not the first time startup entrepreneur. This is my 16th startup, all in digital health and AI health and in medtech areas in last more than 28 years of experience. And in addition to my startup, I am also WHO Geneva expert member for digital health and AI health, whereby I am basically advising to more than 40 countries, governments, corporate regarding how to roll out digital health and AI health into their local settings and local problem related, in healthcare. Particularly in Benovimet, so the benefit, to Benovimet is being a WHO member. I have a very high influential position in global level, and I'm some of the world top 30 most impactful business leader in digital health and AI health, whereby we have the capability where the governments or big organization, they are ready to sign big deal with us, right? So that kind of very huge capability we have, and this is because I have been working and building so many startup in my experience. So in current organization, we built it from scratch, from R&D, working on the clinical R&D side, because my last company was an Israeli startup and into digital health and AI health. And I was senior vice president for Asia market. And thereafter, we basically built this Benovimet Healthcare. So initial, some of the R&D work we did in Israel, and then some clinical work we did in Singapore with the Singapore government and Singapore National Cancer Institutes for working out on the care plan related with the cancer care and all. So this is my profile. So I have been working with the different stakeholder in B2B market. So our billion-dollar capability in business execution is in B2B and B2C market. We are not more focused on the B2C market, because what B2C any startup can gain in 100 years, we can gain in just a few years, which is just in 5 years timeline. Because with our impact, because of our business execution capability, we just within a 12-month timeline after we launch, we are able to have the traction of more than 1 billion of people using our platform. Right. So these are my credentials, and these are my company, other co-founder and other people who are on the management side from the research. And we are working on the chronic diseases, which is basically the non-communicable diseases area. And particularly with current limitation, we developed the product and solutions using this AI health and digital health for cancer area, for cancer types, which is breast cancer and lung cancer currently. And we will be developing after the funding, for all the stages of cancer and all types of other cancers, along with mental health, heart disease and cancer, and, COPDs and those business area. When we set up this company, we started with basically we don't work the way most of the startup they basically build, because there you do a lot of trial and error method. What we did, we basically set up an R&D and innovation lab, which we call as Benovimet R&D and Innovation Lab, under which we have developed the different divisions related with the product R&D, medical R&D, AI R&D, SWOT analysis and all. And thereby we come out with the novel solutions in chronic disease management. That means we are basically applying at every inch of disease management, right from the prevention of cancer care, complete disease management. Even we have developed the solution for palliative care. These were some of the initial clinical research we did with the NSIS, with the government. And earlier we have kept our name this, but now it is this one. And our program was basically sponsored by some of the top onco-pharma companies, and this was our history. And we developed these solutions. This is for the prevention to screening, early detection, doctor consultation, diagnosis, prognosis, treatment, and complete end-to-end. So basically, we developed world most comprehensive integrated care platform, so that we are able to deliver complete end-to-end solution. That means the user has to just download one app which delivers the complete end-to-end solution. They have to download hundreds. I have one for appointment booking, one for medicine supply, and one for the clinical side. Right. So these kind of capabilities we have actually built. So
Mahendra, sorry to interrupt you, but you exceeded time. Can you please go a bit faster?
Yes. So the technology wise, we created this kind of super intelligent robotics platform, which is basically the robot we created. Something like there is one company, Babylon Health from UK. So Babylon Health is having AI GP, but what we have is we have AI GP, but we have the AI oncologist also. And having the specialist doctor in AI, that is the game changer basically, because to build that capability is require a lot of capability. So that we have developed. So this is a great innovation. Plus we have developed another way that just with a normal mobile button phone, one can have the accessibility with AI oncologist, especially in any poor countries also. And for rich countries, this kind of video calls also we can have with AI oncologist doctor. Right. And
Would you
this
like
is our
to
business.
end the sentence, please? Because we time a lot.
Yeah, just you can give me half minute, I can finish this. So this kind of a business model we have. We are working with corporate, we are working with government, working with hospital, pharma companies, insurance companies, and that too in more than 30 countries. Because I am working with the WHO with more than 40 countries, so we have that capability to basically bring these things on commercialization side very fast and very easily after the funding. And these are financial plan. If you see here, after this first funding, our valuation will go more than $600 million just after this current funding. And currently we have a valuation of something like $90 million. And this is our capability. We are looking for fundraising of between $6 to $30 million for basically commercializing into 30 countries, including India. And 30 countries means it is covering the African and Europe market also. And then later on, we'll be going to US and other markets. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you, Mahendra. Thank you. So investors, do you have questions for Mahendra?
Yeah. I have a question, Ashif. Thanks for sharing your credentials and introduction. But I would love to know, what is the problem you are accomplishing, because you made a claim of 1 billion users in 10 months or 1 year.
Yes. Say, when we say we are working on the all types of cancer, all types of cancer, and the other chronic diseases. So like when we sign one deal with government, say like when we sign deal with our Indian government, that means we already have more than 1.4 billion of people who are living here. And when we are signing deal for prevention of cancer, right, with Indian government, that means already we have something like, at least in first 12 months, we will be having at least 500 million of people using our platform, because we have a strong capability to work with government business, whether it is Indian government or in more than 30-40 countries government. So that is our biggest capability, because in startup, the success is not only the idea or technology, but success is basically the idea, technology, and your business execution capability.
Okay, so what is the problem, actual problem you're targeting?
I think, this is the problem we are addressing, right? This chronic disease care management, right from the prevention to complete disease management, including the palliative care, this is basically under-prevented, underserved, underdiagnosed, undertreated, and under disease management. This is the biggest problem. You have to understand this part is the biggest problem, and which most of the governments, most of the hospitals, they are basically taking it easy. And I'm basically the person who has trained more than 50,000 clinicians in more than 30 different specialties in healthcare. Right. So I know the key areas, the key pain points in healthcare.
Can we have a short answers, please? How are they currently handling? How is this being addressed at the moment?
It is addressed in nowhere form. It is not having the reliability. Most of the hospitals, if you talk about the cancer hospitals, they are giving false hope to the patient. Can you believe this? You will not believe. If you stand in my position, then you will believe, because I have in-depth knowledge about the cancer clinical side and how the hospital system is working. Right? They are basically working in the mode of false hope. You understand the meaning of false hope? So this is the thing, because the patient is not knowing what is exactly the clinical side of cancer care, right? So they have to depend on hospital side. But with our platform, what we are actually doing, we are empowering the patient, we are empowering the doctor, we are empowering the hospital management, we are empowering the government who will be using our platform.
Okay, so what is the current feedback at the moment, the people who are using your platform? Can you share some examples?
See, it is like they say you get completed and we will sign big deal, because these kind of platforms are nowhere across the world.
Okay.
This is the need of art.
Huh? Do you have some screenshot or demo? Like
I have one use case demo for lung cancer, which I can, if you can allow 1 minute.
No, if you want, you can do it. You can do it after the session. Okay, I'll be putting you in contact with
if you can allow me time, I can give you on one-to-one basis the demo of our product.
Okay. Thank you. That's all. Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay, I will just a reminder. I'll be talking to all investors and startups after the session to see if there's a potential interest from investors. And so thank you, Mahendra.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome now David from Armenia. He's the co-founder of 10x Immersive. Welcome, David.
Thank you a lot. Thank you for introduction. Nice to meet you guys. So let me to share my screen.
So, Mark, what is the allotted time for each founder?
5 minutes per pitch, but the Q&A is an unlimited time. But of course, we have to be like fair with everyone. Okay, David, I think you are ready to go.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot once again. So I wanted to introduce myself. I began with the same sentence during my presentation. I'm proud Armenian engineer with the 10+ of years experience in a product development, industrial automation, hardware and software development. And a year before, I personally faced with a problem when I took my child to the hospital for immunization. This is real picture from our scientific experiments that we did in the local medical clinics. And there is a huge number behind of it that 71% of the preschool, they have a stress when visit to the doctor. So we made a decision when we collaborate with psychologists, and we generate a hypno content based on the virtual reality in order to secure child attention, leaving a fewer attentional for the brain to concentrate on a pain. So here you can see how the child is passing medical procedure without stress and anxiety. So we want to increase with our product customer satisfaction rate and the customer experience, because everyone knows that all this is highly correlated with the medical institution profitability. Why we use virtual reality? Because currently it is one of the most advanced technology in order to disrupt patient attention. Here you can see that, and then also the hundreds of scientific experiment proves the property of virtual reality as a non-pharmacological anesthesia for acute pain. And our competitors, in the previous picture, you can see that they use a fixed content parallelized with the medical procedure. So they don't have any connection with the psychological state of the patient. So the butterfly is sitting on the hand of the child and they do the procedure. So there is no feedback from the child side, whether the child is psychologically ready to pass this procedure. So we want to fix this gap, and having this biofeedback connection, we use a biological data and generate adaptive content based on the psychological state of the user. So based on the respiration, conductive skin response, body temperature, we change the content, we generate psychological stimulus in order to scare child attention more and more. So here's our technology. It is class 1 device. We develop in-house hardware that touches the top of the VR head-mounted device. We did the development, also the unique sterilization charging box in order to use our solutions for wider audience. All these technologies now we are doing our patent pending in US. So we also pay a lot of attention on the child-oriented design, because again, scientific experiments prove that the design matters. So the child accepted as non-medical device. So I want to highlight that we are a software company, because currently all leading VR headset companies, they already integrate these sensors, they understand the value, and we want to be ready when the industry will be mature. So our business model is a subscription, and we consider hospital, medical clinics, like diagnostic labs, etc. You select your challenge, you subscribe, and we deliver all headset with the required components, accessories inside of it. So this is Goldman Sachs research for virtuality in a healthcare market, and we consider US market and European market. We did a lot of research in this direction, and we got a lot of hint from the doctor side that the option to be scale up and or dental pre-surgery on operation, rehabilitation, the yoga, so a lot of directions. So currently our technology in a TRL level is from 6 to 7. So we are doing our product. We have testing in a psychological, in the field conditions. We do the proof of concept for dental direction, pre-surgery procedures. We set a company in Lithuania, in Europe. We are opening company also in Middle East, in United Arab Emirates. We are part of the Europe. We are winner of European Health Organization, part of the VR Rehab Association, and all scientific experiments proves about the valuability, about the advantage of using our solution, our hypno content. So our plan of market, Armenia is a small country, and we want to test the product locally. We want to do a lot of experiments because there is a huge lack of these scientific experiments, having biological data in the field condition from the child. And we want to test and get a lot of data. And we have also an option to do the pilot in California, like in UCLA, one of the top medical clinics in the world, and Chula, Los Angeles Hospital, and also to extend our product internationally, go to the international. So here our team, I work in one of the top engineering company in the world in National Instruments, and also my co-founders from Central Bank of Armenia. We have a psychologist that they are doing a PhD in Max Planck University right now. So here's our team. So we have one of the top scientists as an advisor in the pain management sphere. We are collaborating with the UCLA surgery manager, where we had an advisor from the dental direction. And one of our advisors and investor is a guy from that's the production manager in Microsoft in the HoloLens Xbox. So this guy is also with us. So our milestones for current stage to again get new customers in direction of the needle phobia, to do some pivotal trial in the direction of pre-surgery and anxiety activities, and for dental fear again to get a couple of customers there. We are right now collaboration with one of the smallest and high quality virtual reality manufacturer, Para, in order to use a virtual reality headset with our hardware stuff and to have very thin and cost-effective solution also.
Thank you.
So here,
this
is the final slide. So
okay.
Here you can see how we have the procedure that we took a child from outside of the room and bring to the medical procedure. And this is something that we also show in the end, the hardware with the software, as we are doing our patent pending right now. So we are trying to limit these pictures, etc. But all this our solutions is now available in the medical clinics of local region. So if you have any questions, please welcome.
Thank you, David. So yeah, I join what David said. If you have questions, investors, please do not hesitate to ask David.
So David, first of all, I'd like to tell you that you are a great storyteller. You have an ability to engage an investor with your videos, with your storytelling techniques. You covered competition, you covered a demo, you covered milestones, you covered your team. I think you covered absolutely most brilliantly like a Silicon Valley pitch. The question I have for you is very simple. What is the current challenge for scale up?
Yeah, right now we want to do the R&D, a lot of R&Ds, because all these scientific experiments in the Google Scholar. So the last year they did only the 10 scientific experiments, but all the experiments is done in the laboratory. See, we want to extend. So right now we are we want to do a lot of R&Ds, to spend a lot of money on engineering and to scale and to test the product in a different geographical locations, because cultural differentiation is matter. So we want to test the product in the Middle East, in Europe, in China, in US. So this will allow us to extend. So we need the money in order to extend, to go to set a R&D in different geographical locations.
Thank you. And the reason I say thank you 3 times, because culture eats strategy. So you are definitely a brilliant founder. So thank you once again.
Thanks a lot.
Could I ask could I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, also echoing what Vince said, great storytelling, and very much enjoyed it. Very appreciative of the QR code actually as well. But can I ask, so you're the software company predominantly, the hardware underlying this, do you have partnerships with VR headset providers and stuff? Because the hardware cost obviously could be potentially quite high for hospital systems, which are already budget stretched in many parts of the world, whether developing or not. So as per the scale up question, your pricing is quite reasonable, but then the volume needed is probably quite high. So how do you work with the hardware side and obviously the amount of usage? Is it like a seat model or per headset? How would it work?
Thanks a lot. So again, we in our cases, we purchase already ready-made devices like head-mounted devices like Pico. Pico is a B2B platform, B2B VR head-mounted devices. So it is Google for only for business. We do it, we purchase it. We have 2 subscription options: 3 months, 4 months, 1 free of charge, and additional 3 months. We have a 12-month, a year plus. So with this subscription, we take they subscribe, we deliver entire system. So after 2 months, we cover all expenses. So because we have our full price, we know what kind of discount we got from the Pico, etc. So I wanted to go ahead a lot and answer, because it is unlimited, so I can a bit in the engineering, right? So there is no need to develop VR headset. There is a need a lot to concentrate on the add-on, because in the end of the day, all VR headset will integrate the biological sensors inside of it. Now we see the tendency in customer electronic show, the innovative VR headset they have a like mouth recognition camera with integrated heart rate sensor. So we want to integrate all this stuff. We have a lot of experiments. And in the end of the day, when the industry will be matured, we're going to have a lot of data to share with them. I didn't mention also that in our content, we use like child preferences data. We use a field of view in order to understand the child in which subject they concentrate. We give, they have some exercises inside of the content and they get a honorary, and we understand what preferences they have. We can store this data and sell it additionally to like a gaming company, either the candy companies, etc. I want to open a lot, but our product, we got the 2 offers from the adults industry, porn industry. They're very interested to know more. We got an offer from the gambling industry, but we are very oriented on the healthcare because it's come from my personal story associated with my child. So I want to go in a healthcare.
Thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Alexander. And thank you, David. Any more questions? Okay. So our next startup is from Switzerland. It's represented by its CEO and founder, Polo. It's called Virtuvian Shield. Welcome, Polo. Thank you for joining us. Can you kindly unmute yourself? We cannot hear you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mark, for this opportunity, great opportunity. And yes, I'm the founder of Virtuvian Shield. Just 1 second, I want to share my screen. So thank you again. I'm the founder of Virtuvian Shield, and then we developed the digital health platform for epilepsy, remote patient monitoring, diagnosis, and medical research. It offers a smartwatch, a mobile and a web app, and an API on a medical-grade cloud database. Our main medical focus is not only, but is epilepsy, which is about 80,000 patients in Switzerland from 20,000 hard children, 6 million in Europe, 65 million in worldwide. And medically speaking, less than 1 physician for 100,000 patients, 30% are pharmacoresistance, and 50,000 per year die from SUDEP 7 unexpected death on epilepsy. Important to know also is that today no wearable medical device is able to detect all forms of or types of seizures. Our vision is to propose a state-of-the-art condition management for epilepsy by providing patient and clinical researchers institutes with real-time value biometrics and health indications. And our business objectives is to develop a break-even company in 3 years and aims to expansion by selling the company to worldwide players and own the large data of epilepsy biometrics indications or seizures that we can use for implement AI and machine learning models. Our value proposition is, so as I said before, the web app for medical professionals to have access to all patients' reports and supporting their diagnosis. The API for researchers, with offering them biomarkers for data science and AI implementation, and the smartwatch fully developed by our partner Analog Devices with embedded real-time data analytics. And in terms of sensors, we have an electrocardiogram, an accelerometer, EDA, photoplethysmogram with 4 LEDs, blue, green, red, infrared, and not 1 but 2 photodiodes, and a thermistor. The mobile app offers patients a way to manage their epilepsy and drug prescription, and also offer a new alert generation in life-threatening situations based on learning algorithms, and also like fall detection. And we like to see ourselves as the Norton 360 like for epilepsy. The magic here is not only the smartwatch, the mobile app, and the web app, but also and mainly the system architecture that we developed that process data in real time and offers different databases, one for new users, other for users, other for sensors data, and finally, the last one for crisis events and medication. So the security is here very well implemented. And we will want to offer with this situation, of course, triggering alerts to patients and patients' environment and their caregivers in life-threatening situation. In terms of business models, our main key activities are data management and AI and machine learning implementation, but also vital signs remote monitoring. Our key partners are Analog Devices as hardware partner. The CHUV is the University Hospital of Lausanne. The EPFL is on the table to be a partner on the consortium. InnoSwiss is our Swiss innovation agency partner and support us with financially and also with business coaching. And Infomaniac, our infrastructure supplier, where we keep our data. In terms of channels and products, we want to develop three versions or three different platforms. The first one for research, the second one for elderly and chronic care, and the final one with the CA medical certification class 2 epilepsy platform. In terms of business model, is a B2B for research. We use sales teams, websites, events, and network for health research and health institutes. And our V2 and V3 platform will be B2 patient, business to patient, business to patients. And we will work with patient associations, websites, and pharmacies for the consumer patient market, health and coaching, and chronic and elderly preventive market. In terms of cost and structure, our people, the smart outsourcing with Analog Devices, the product development, the sales and marketing, and all the legal part, quality, and IP costs that we see here. And in terms of revenue streams, we want to propose 1 to 2 years software license for the platform for health institutes to use or on medical trials, or also for monitoring their patients with a monthly or 300 francs per month. And they will be able to rent the watch for each patient they have for the time they need for 99 francs per month. And version 2 for care and epilepsy, version 3 will be able to, patient will be able to buy the watch and pay a monthly fee. Or also, if they don't want to buy, they can rent it for 1 to 6 months. In terms of regulatory and go-to-market, I start with regulatory. We are now on gold standard clinical validation. We already have the smartwatch CE mark, and we will finish the scientific publication until end of the next month. We want to start the clinical trials with the Swiss government and the CHUV in the next quarter. And we should end the ISO certification at the end of the year and the final scientific publication. We should get in end of 2023 the CA Medical Device 2B certification and the FDA on 2024. In terms of go-to-market, we want to start the next quarter with our alpha market evaluation research platform. So at the same time, we're going to start the clinical trials. We want to propose our platform for research on for health institutions. The quarter after that, the next quarter, we will have the beta version. At the end of the year, we want to launch elderly and chronic preventive care platform without a CA medical device class 2 certification. We only need a CA mark and ISO 13485. On the second quarter of 2023, the beta version, and we should start the Virtuvian Shield epilepsy platform sales in Europe on the last quarter of 2023, and finally worldwide in 2024.
Thank you, Paulo. Thank you. Would you like to add anything before we end the pitching? Because we already agreed on the 5 minutes rule, correct?
Yeah. So, well, I have this. This is what I just.
Yeah, please go over it. Go over it, but in rapidly, just to be fair with everyone. You know, I don't like to do that.
I go faster. I go faster. So, in terms of competition, you have 7-8 players on the market, but the 3 main ones have a FDA clearance, which you see Empathic and Nightwatch and Brain Sentinel. The only two who are watch are Empatica and Night Watch with the same kind of sensors, with less sensors and a big difference in terms of quality and quantity of signs that we collect. Our team, so I don't have time, so I go through this. And to finalize, we have, like I said before, we want to develop three different products or platforms. The V1 is for medical research. We should launch in 3 months or 2-3 months. The second one is for elderly and chronic preventive care. And the last one with a medical certification, the epilepsy platform. We estimate 4 rounds of fundraising this year and two this year and 2 next year, and maybe a final one in 2024 to go worldwide. And this is our current situation. We're looking for 1.9 million for all the project, but now we asking at minimum of 600K to make the clinical studies, the AI and machine learning implementation and the certification, and deliver to the first clients, and next year open new locations. So thank you for this extra time.
Thank you, Paulo. Thank you. As you know, I don't like to do the police job, but you know, it's my role. But we already agreed on the 5 minutes with everyone.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
please
sure. Sorry.
I know you want to give as much info as possible, but to be fair with everyone also. So please, investors, if you have any questions, feel free to ask Paulo.
Yep. Paulo Vince here. If I have to give an award for go-to-market and your business model, it will go to you today. Very well explained. Question: what is your current burn rate?
Right now it's 30K per month.
Okay, and how do you see increasing your burn rate for the year 2022?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. How do you see increasing your burn rate for this current year 2022?
Well, I see it between the 30 to 40K per month maximum.
Maximum for the period of 20. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Yeah, thank you.
I was just saying it's the best slide for business and go to market. So thank you for explaining very well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can I ask a quick question, Paolo? Great presentation as well. Thank you. I know you have are you able to flick back to the schematic slide of the wearable? Yeah, that one. The next one. Yeah. So you have a lot of sensors here, which is great, but you know, large, and I know the software behind this is obviously going to be proprietary to you, but in terms of the actual the wearable, how much risk do you see in product replacement from competitors, large scale competitors that make wearables as well? Like, you know, I don't want to say Apple, but yeah, Apple.
Well, thank you. Very good question. I see none risk, and I explain why. First of all, because our partnership, our product is the software, and the partnership we have with Analog Devices is exactly on the hardware part. So what Analog Devices guarantee us is that we have all the time access to the last generation of sensors and electronics that they develop. And this watch was fully developed in partnership with us, with my team in the last 3 years. But because of COVID, we have 2 years of delay. And what we developed in terms of software is a software that is not only today is connected with this watch, but any watch that comes in the late future, we are compatible with any kind of watches that use these kind of sensors or even others. Give another example is that I have the ambition to very soon connect with also OEM patch for glucose. So what we can do, because we have a mobile app, is connect with other devices at the same time to collect other kind of biometrics that we cannot collect with this watch. This is again the reason that we start for in terms of product with a research platform is that we believe really hard that our tool will be also very useful for medical research in different medical fields and not only in epilepsy. But since we are not in the market yet, we still not have this market evaluation. For now, we have two health institutions, very low and very premium institution who want to subscribe and who want to use our solution. But that's it. So to answer to your question, we don't have to be worried about hardware because I did this partnership years ago to exactly fulfill this problem of hardware development, which is huge today. If you see Apple and the other benchmark smartwatches, you see that the evolution is very, very big and very fast. So we don't want to compete with hardware companies. We partner with the best, with the number 2 semiconductor manufacturer in the world to not have this issue. So the hardware, we don't have to invest millions to develop hardware, because what I know, because I started designing watches, Swiss-made watches, I know how we make a watch from A to Z, but I don't know how we make semiconductors. So the idea was, and with this partnership, is to complement my team experience to develop watches and now software with a semiconductor manufacturer, and not only one semiconductor manufacturer, but the number 2 in the world, or maybe some years is the number 1. So this is what I do. I build is a company, a software company with a partnership with one of the best sensing hardware developers in the world. And with this partnership, I don't have to worry about what is going to happen in 2-3 years if another watch comes to the market, because I will be not only compatible and can be connected with these watches, but if you are on this field, you also know that any kind of watches that you have today, Garmin, Apple, or blah, 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 it's not matter. You don't have access to the sensors raw data. You also always have some algorithmics on top of the sensors that you have on an Apple Watch, as example. And this is our differentiation, is that our API and watch give raw data, and not only raw data, but high frequency raw data. Another differentiation is in terms of sensors and capability or precision, is that what you see on today wearable market is that they don't are able to give precise earth rate variability because of lack of data when you move, or because of light, what we call noises. We don't have, even if we have this lack of data, because we work with high frequencies, we still have enough data to get precise results on the AI, behind the AI we implement.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Just wanted to establish that there was no reliance on hardware, so there isn't. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, again. So now I'd like to welcome Moshe. He's the CEO of Hilabuls. He's the founder of Hilabuls as well. Welcome, Moshe. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. So first
Maybe
of all,
we're a bit late. I know you have to leave.
I'm sold on Paolo. We're looking for a wearable to watch to integrate with our technology. We have all the problems that he just mentioned right now in terms of not having direct access to the original data, not at a high enough frequency for AI. So let's speak and maybe we can do some business. So I founded Hilabuls, and I'll share my slides in a minute, because 15 years ago I had a traumatic brain injury. And thank God I made a full recovery. But what I learned in my journey of rehabilitation was that you need to treat the mind and the body together. And that's really the genesis of Hilabuls. We have a digital health coach that treats the mind. Here's our little mind here. And we have a wearable electroceutical device that docks with smart textiles that treats the body. So here we have a device and smart textiles with built-in sensors that treat the body. And when you treat the whole person, that's really a game changer. So let me share my slides here. Okay. happens here. Let's try that again.
Maybe you should exit it and re-enter because it's the end of the slideshow.
Okay, so went backwards. Okay, do it this way. Got it. Okay. This is the quick version. Okay.
Okay, great.
So, okay. So our mission at Hilabuls is to relieve pain, accelerate healing, and reduce inflammation without medication. We treat people with clothing instead of drugs. And we have a great team coming. Our chief medical officer is from Harvard. Our CTO is from Johns Hopkins. So a first vertical that we're going to focus on, even though we have a platform technology, is knee osteoarthritis. Alexander, this is for you. The knee osteoarthritis is not just a problem of 500 million people in the world, but it's a $100 billion pound problem in the UK as well. So it's a real serious issue that needs a better solution. So what we do to solve inflammation is really the main cause of a lot of these issues. Is we have our electroceutical device that docks on the smart textiles. Built into the textiles are permanent dry electrodes that deliver the therapy, and also sensors that provide feedback. And then we have our behavioral health coach in the app that gives the softer emotional, psychological side that goes back in terms of data and also coaches the patient. And then we have the remote practitioner portal that allows practitioners, body workers like physical therapists to do a remote hands-on treatment as if they were in the same room. And our product pipeline takes us from the knee all the way to the rest of the body with different textiles. We have two verticals that we'll explain a little bit later. A wellness and sports vertical that it is not a medical product. It's going to go to market without FDA clearance, without requirement of FDA clearance. And then we have a medical version of the product as well that will go to market later with FDA clearance and medical CE. Okay, so we're based upon solutions that are in use in the Cleveland Clinic and in Stanford. Cleveland Clinic has introduced microcurrent therapy, and Stanford has introduced a mind-body team approach, but they use a lot of highly trained medical doctors, physical therapists, psychologists, and you have to go to the clinic. So it's just not affordable, not accessible, not scalable when it's a clinic-based solution. And we've converted that into a product-based solution so it can be scalable and accessible to everyone and affordable. Again, we treat the body with the wearable electroceutical and the mind with the digital health coach. So really what we're doing in terms of the mechanism of action, we're working on the mitochondria. We empower the mitochondria. We all know you need to plug in your phones or else they run out of energy. Our bodies also need energy. We could all think better, eat better, but we need a little bit of a boost. We're energizing the mitochondria with our electrotherapy, and with the mind, when we're able to go and reset the parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system, we're able to relax, and we have coaching techniques to empower the body, improve immunity, the immune response. So in user testing, we have seen that 83% of users reported pain relief of at least 50%, and also an increase in range of motion. So we have a patent portfolio that's worldwide, patents that are granted, patents that are pending, and a back-end architecture that's GDPR and compliant with the different health systems. So again, this is a platform technology that can really treat inflammation in a lot of different conditions. Right now, we have a clinical trial that's ongoing with the sports medicine departments in Greater Tel Aviv on knee osteoarthritis. We have another trial that's written for diabetic neuropathy. And we have a clinical trial that we're working on in collaboration with SRS Life Sciences in India for lower back pain. And for the sports vertical, we have a pilot that's ongoing with the Stade Francais Paris rugby team. And they're using our device, and also we have some players in Israel that are using it as well. So with marketing, we have the two verticals. We have the medical vertical, and that's going to be licensing. SRS is going to be our first company that's licensing our technology for India, for the Indian market. And it has, every country has its own business model. So we have a model for them, and then we have the wellness as well. So there is competition that's out there, but the competition looks like this. It's all about usability when you talk about the consumerization of health. So our product is easy to use, it's consumer friendly, and it doesn't look like this. Merck has an invasive implantable device for chronic inflammatory disease. They are turning people into cyborgs by implanting chips in your heads to reduce inflammation. Well, we can do that with a wearable that's non-invasive, that just is in a hat instead of in it with surgery. The revenue model is complicated, and I'm happy to discuss later, but we're really a software company, 2/3 SaaS, 1/3 device. And there's a B2C element as well as a B2B2C element, and then a revenue share for the B2B. Financial projections, right now we're raising $3 million, and we hope just on the wellness revenue alone, we plan to be cash flow positive by year 3. We'll be happy to share the full Excel as well. So we know one of the great things about healthcare is that it's not just about making money, it's about helping people. I think that everybody here, every one of these companies that I've seen, and I missed some of them unfortunately, but are fantastic. And you know that you're putting your money into good use when you're really doing good with the world. So as Michael Jordan said, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others make it happen. We make it happen. And we're looking for other people to join the team and continue to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moshe. I agree with you. We have great companies tonight, and depending on the time in which you are, but yeah, in the session. So investors, please feel free to ask questions if you have any questions.
Moshe, first of all, your opening statement was fabulous. I love that the clarity you presented, it stuck in my mind. And other thing I want to give you feedback is your user data was awesome. The question I have for you is, the money you're raising, can you give a little bit snapshot? How is it? Is it equity financing? Is it equity exchange or safe? Can you go back to that 3 million slide?
I don't think I can go back to it so easily because I closed it, but I'll be happy to share with you afterwards. We're raising equity. We're doing an equity round. You know, as you know, we did some safes earlier on, and in the end, you know, it's better not just to do an equity round. So we're doing an equity round. We have a term sheet for a $500,000 investment as part of a 3 million round at a 10 million valuation. We can negotiate that. We're really looking for the right investors that want to come in, bring this product to market, understand the market, understand the complexity of healthcare, how you can do, you know, and it's really about go-to-market on sports together with additional R&D for the medical. And then the next raise is really going to be, and a little bit of this raise, but most of the next raise will be the artificial intelligence layer that's going to come on top of that.
Okay. Do you have a projection in terms of this year revenue model or the current revenue, and you see how it's going to scale up?
So we're in the middle of negotiations with SRS Life Sciences on our first licensing agreement there. So we're deep in negotiations. Depending on the negotiations, I'll know in the next few weeks what our actual revenue is going to be for Q1 or Q2, and then that'll make it easier to do projections with that license. And then as soon as we have investments, we'll put the go-to-market plan into action in sports. So we have Stade Francais as our first pilot. And from there, PSG or other teams in the United States, Premier League, Europe, are really just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So I'm not sure exactly when it's going to happen, but our product works. We just did in Israel. We had a guy who was out with the meniscus injury. He used our device for 2 weeks. He was able to come back earlier. He played for 20 minutes, scored the winning goal. You know, it's an awesome technology. And one more thing. We can treat long COVID. Our electrical engineer, unfortunately, about a month ago, started losing his hearing, and he was diagnosed with long COVID. And the doctors wanted to hospitalize him on high-dose steroids. And I said to him, you're sitting in our company. You got to use our device. Yes. So he used it. He tested his hearing before and after. He used the device for a week, and his hearing improved by 10 decibels. So we have a solution for long COVID. We got to get this to market. We're looking for the people that can help us do that.
Thank you, Moshe. Overall, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, really great. Thanks. I also very, apologies for the background noise. I have a child and I'm at home and he's crying. I very much like that you had Stade Francais in there because I'm a rugby fan. Can I ask about, so the moment you're looking at, osteoarthritis, but it sounds like this could this could work in any sort of joint condition with things like, other inflammatory immune conditions, etc. Is the focus now to start just with osteoarthritis, or expand into other conditions soon, later? And then, sorry, a second question is, I may have missed it, but when are the trials with like not Cleveland Clinic, with Stade Francais, and there was another hospital group, I think, in Israel. When are they finishing?
So that depends on COVID. The trials at the Wolfson Medical Center are going slowly. They were shut down for COVID a little bit. Now we're bringing in 2 patients a week instead of 5 or 6 or so. It looks like it's going to be maybe 6 months, something like that, because we're onboarding people much more slowly than we had hoped. Stade Francais just got off the ground last week, so that's going to be ongoing. They're still getting onboarded with the technology. So that's exciting there. In terms of, look, as an entrepreneur, I want to go big. I want to go every condition, every market, and just go out there as quickly as possible. But as a startup, you have very limited funds and you have to focus. So that's the tension between wanting to go broad and solve all the problems and wanting to focus. It's really a question where there's funding and where there's relationships. We were scouted in the UK by the Leeds teaching hospital and the NHS for orthopedics. One of the reasons we picked orthopedics is just because, just visually speaking, when you say treating with textiles, you can understand, oh, you wear textiles, you wear a sleeve, and you can treat something physical. We can also deal with anxieties, brain inflammation, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, depressions. How does clothing treat Alzheimer's? The story is a little bit more difficult. So I think the key is really to focus on first the musculoskeletal issues, because it's easier, demonstrate the validity with an established medical solution, and then once you're in the market, then expand from there with more funding and do in parallel all the different conditions as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did he answer your question? Okay. All right.
Mark, can I make a question, please?
Yeah, sure.
Just to all the entrepreneurs here who present their companies. I am diabetic. My wife is epileptic. My question is, if they want to answer, how many of the entrepreneurs today have a chronic disease or someone in the family with a chronic disease?
Yeah, I do. Our chief medical officer is actually my father. He's diabetic also, and we can build. We have a solution for diabetic neuropathy as well, and we'd love to talk about a glucose patch and watch and do some research there too.
My father's diabetic and my mother has hypertension, so of other conditions.
Well, my question is to know how many of you have this will of be able to do something about it. So this is the reason I ask, to know how many of you like me have a chronic disease. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So someone raised his hand. There is one. Do you want to take?
Thank you so much. Great product, Mushi. I just wanted to ask, do you like your product also caters to varicose veins in the legs?
I'm sorry, to which type of veins?
The varicose veins, the ones that the veins that pop up due to
varicose veins.
Yeah,
we haven't tested with varicose veins, but we can improve the blood flow with our product. For diabetic neuropathy, we're developing a sock that would do that. So we'd have to test it. So I don't have any data on that. But I would assume that we would be able to go and help, because we can improve the blood flow. So that should be able to help with varicose veins as well.
Yeah, usually people wear compression stockings for that. Since your product actually covers the whole leg, I think that could be give some support for varicose veins as well. Just an idea if you can work on that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we're trying to do now with this product, we are compression garments, but it's a very low level compression. It's a sports compression level, because we didn't want to muddy the data between the electrotherapy and the compression level. But one of the plans is to build the technology together with other companies that are in the market, with other garments like compression socks, and then we can retrofit their. It's one of the market pathways is to retrofit their current products and turn them from a static product into a SaaS product by adding the electrotherapy, and we can build that into proper compression garments.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Best of luck with your product.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And we wish everyone a fast recovery. Course. So now I'd like to welcome Sofiane from Switzerland. He's the CEO of Teamfund Health. Welcome, Sofiane. Please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. I'm sharing my screens. Okay, so my name is Sofiane, and today I'm presenting you our project, which is Teamfund Health, like treat your mind anytime. This is a mental health support solution. We are based in Switzerland, and our goal is to help organization and patient. So the problem that we are targeting is that mental health today issue affect many employees. I have 15 years experience in company, and generally, basically in Switzerland, this problem is always hidden in the company. And in Switzerland today, this problem troubles are the first cause of sick leave for disability. And today in Switzerland, we are very difficult to find the right therapist according to the right patient needs in the right time. So in Switzerland, 20% of the people have mental health disorder, and it's very expensive for the country and for companies. And we are trying to solve this problem. For the history, so I have 15 years experience in company. I'm an engineer and have a digital expert. And I have a team, and I have, in my team, a lot of people have depression. With my partner, real partner, Linda, she is a doctor, she's a psychiatrist, and both of us, we are co-founder, and we decide to create this project. And we are with a team with a psychologist, doctor, data scientist, and technical lead. So our main goal is to make prevention, detection, care of anxiety, stress, burnout in company. And this is the right moment for us in this post-COVID period. So we will combine science, technology, and human support. And we will start by the Switzerland, the market that we know, and after we are targeting Europe. So for example, in Switzerland, for a company that have 100 employees, the cost is around 200,000 francs. This is the annual cost for direct and indirect mental health. So we will try to help this company to reduce this cost with an effective solution. So our competitor and position, today there is some self-application and a lot of self-application for mental health, for self-care. From the other hand, there is a solution for matching like a marketplace and therapist. And there is some company more working on more management and the consulting company. And why Teamfund is born is to have both of these needs and focus on digital therapy, psychedelic treatment, and biofeedback. So our solution is designed for employee and organization and for patient and therapist. So some screenshot of application. So based on our goal is that the employee can access to this application with anonymous access. We have to self-assessment. They have to self-assessment process to detect some troubles. And in this way, they can have a proposition of program, therapist, and some hybrid program between content, calling support, and have some exercise, and also biofeedback. So this is designed for patient and salary and employee. After that, we provide to the organization a dynamic dashboard that they can give us an overview of what is the real needs of the employee, how they can improve the situation, how can make the right training for the right person. So we have dashboard about the mental health situation of the team, and we can take the right decision. For the therapist part, they have a tool to make to follow the situation of their patient, and they can have all the information as a software for a patient. So our roadmap, we start working on this project last year with the team. We start creating the MVP, and today we are looking. We open the seed phase, and our goal is to target and to launch the service in the third quarter of this year in the Swiss French part, and starting the Dutch part next year. Our business model is B2B membership, based on the number of employees. B2C, we offer a freemium option and premium option, and the subscription, the third one, for the solution that will be used by a therapist partner. How you can be part of us and support this project. So our goal is 1 million to have 1.5 million euro, with investment taken at least 100 euro minimum, and with pre-money evaluation 5 million euro. And we're using investment vehicle like BSA. I can explain how it works. So we will use this fund to complete our MVP, to work on the marketing and the acquisition, and complete our IT team. So this is some evaluation of other competitor in other countries, in France and in Finland. We see that they on the money raised around 2 million in the pre-set phase. So on the Q partner today, we are working with university for the search part. We have we work with InnoPark and Promo with incubator to help us on this phase, and InnoSwiss for financing part, and Innovo for helping startup at this level. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm ready to give the response on your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharfin. Thank you very much. So, investors, any questions for Sharfin?
Yeah, I can go first. Thank you, Sofiane. Appreciate it. Mental health is a massive challenge generally everywhere in the world, and I understand it as well. It's genetic in my family. I suffer from anxiety and depression, so I understand that. Can I ask, it's getting kind of a saturated market with mental health apps and across the world. So I just want to understand like what geographic market that you're trying to deal with at the moment. You're Swiss-based right now, but expansion outside of Switzerland, especially into markets like the US, there's already things like Happify and
Sorry, your micro?
Yeah, Alexander, please, you muted yourself by mistake.
Yeah, things like Happify and MoodFit, etc. They already exist. So how are you hoping to compete against them?
Yeah, really, there is a lot of this kind of company like Lyra in USA. Today, our main that we will be the first company working on this kind of in Switzerland market. This is the market that we have, and after we preferred to go on this country where they are not have this kind of solution. But I know there is company that have already started a few years ago. But the chance that we have today, that we are a team with doctor, engineer, the founder, and the Swiss market, there is a real potential to have at least in the Swiss market that we know, and there is a lot of needs, and we are supported always by the federation.
Does that answer your question, Alexander?
Yeah, no, that did answer my question. It did.
Okay.
I thought you might say that, but I just wanted to check.
Yeah, absolutely. Today in Switzerland, there is a lot of patients suffering from anxiety, depression, basically with the COVID part, and psychologic are underwater. We cannot accept a new patient. So today, when we present this project to the company, we have 5 big company that interested in our offer. Even we are on the early stage, but they are interested to go to support our company because it is basically founded by doctor, psychiatric, that they know how we can manage it, and as a manager in a company that we know how we can make the right training, the right decision for company. So this is for me, the main value for other competitor.
Okay. Any more questions for Sofiane? All right. Thank you again, everyone. And now we'll be traveling to Germany with Urs, who is the CEO and founder of Health and Wise. Welcome, Urs. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.
Hello together. It's so funny to see all these guys from all over the world with these crazy ideas. I love it. It's amazing. Oh no. And it's fantastic. Okay, my phone is shit. So thanks for the invitation. And we actually face another problem, another problem which everybody knows. It's about allergies, the food allergies, and contact allergies. So my company Health and Wise, we developed an app called CheckWise, and we go via text. So let me share the screen. I don't know if that works. I tried it yesterday. Okay, it's gonna be a challenge.
Take your time.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Yes. Can you make it a full screen, please?
Can I make what?
No, we can see it. It's okay.
So, okay, we are CheckWise, and we developed an app for food and contact allergy sufferers because this is a really growing thing, and everyone knows someone who has allergies or is affected himself. So alone in the EU, we have 80 million people suffering from food or contact allergies. And this is together with people that mama, papa, and caretakers is 264 million possible users for the app. And so it's a major burden for the whole family and of course for the economy. And alone in the EU, they pay 100 billion per year because people can't go to work. And our Professor Zuberbier, he's in our team. He made me to say anaphylaxis is potentially lethal within minutes. So I had to say that because he made me say that. So what is our USP? Our USP is scanning the text and not the barcode, and this is key. This is super key, because the correct printed text on food and cosmetic and care products, this is required by law. The barcodes have different specifications in each country. It's not mandatory in any country, and it has an error rate of 47% in Germany alone. I spoke to the company GS1, which in Germany had its headquarters in Cologne, and this source is from 2017, when we actually started to find out how we're going to solve this big problem. And we can grow very fast just by simply by adding another language in the market. So we can increase very quickly. And we do not need any database. The text recognition avoids maintaining several large product databases. This is very, very important because this is mega expensive and you need lots of people doing that. So CheckWise, guys, the app already exists in the store. So we tested it with 5K plus users and we received the seal of INKEF. INKEF is the European Center of Allergy Research Foundation. So this is the head of allergy research in Europe. And Professor Zuberbier, he is in our team. He is the head of the INKEF. And they approved our app. It took a while, but they did. And we have the seal since 2 or 3 weeks. And we, of course, added it into the app. raise. We have raised already $265,000, and we have 2 investors, and we want to raise 3 to 5 million for updates and marketing. So because we want to go with augmented reality and want to go to bigger markets like the US and the Asian market, because they have huge problems with allergies there. This is very important for us. And to competitors, there used to be an app called CodeCheck. This is one of the biggest competitors and available for acquisition, actually. This barcode based, they were barcode based, and they had to maintain a large database, which doesn't work. They had 7 people doing it day by night. You have to change recipes, and you have to find new products. You have to delete products, because the industry, they do not give you the information. You have to do it yourself. And this database is just crazy, and you can just use it for one country. And if you want to go expand into another country, you're done. You have to make another one. So you need more people doing that. And this is just a crazy work. So, and I contacted the former CEO from CodeCheck, and we can buy the brand and their existing 1.5 monthly active users, which propel us into the market leadership position immediately. That was cool. So I talked to him 5 days ago, and it's still available. He has a couple guys talking to him, like retail and etc. But nothing is exclusively. So that's nice. And there's another app. They go via barcode as well. It's called Health Me. They started a while ago, but they go via barcode as well. And so I think they will go belly up soon as well. Let's say a year or 2, and then it's over, because this is just crazy. So now we got to do this. So it's quite simple. You create a profile, and then you go. You scan with our app the food, the ingredient text on food, on cosmetics, on care products, and as an update as well, medication. I already talked to the pharma industry, and they are very interested in this, because you add your things you do not like in medication, and it should be shown in augmented reality then, so that you don't have to read all this package stuff. And then when you scan it, the app shows you immediately the displays if you can use it or not. So this is how it looks. We changed a bit the UX. It looks a bit different. And here you see a profile. This is a little girl called Anouk, and this is the stuff she doesn't like. And then she scanned, and here you see the results. What's in the stuff here on the right side? You see toothpaste. You can try to read toothpaste stuff, the ingredients. It's impossible. Not possible. I tried it, even with my glasses. Not possible. It's crazy. And when you search for one product, for one ingredient, you cannot find it. Believe me, you can't. So Checkwise already works in the languages English, German, and Dutch, and recognizes food allergens. 14 allergens in the EU have to be printed on the packages, and all the additives, all the E's on the packages, you can be allergic to that as well. And the ingredients of cosmetic and care products called INKEFs, more than, I don't know, 600 or so we have in it, and we find them. And because we want to upgrade for diabetic people as well, we already find 28 different sugars. So they're hidden in funny names, you know that, right? And our text recognition will go via AI. So how are we going to make money? So what we can do is we bring Checkwise like it is on the market through marketing with a subscription model. And on top of that, we can sell Checkwise as a white label product. So when companies, like huge companies, say, okay, we have lots of people suffering from allergies, and we want to make sure that they come and work, we buy, let's say, 50,000 and give it to our work staff, and like retailer, pharma industry, cosmetic industry, health insurances, etc., etc. And on top of that, we can add our technique to existing apps like Delivery Hero and Bolt and retailers and stuff. So this is called API. So we can just sneak in, and we make a button in the existing apps, and they can use our technique to make sure that the people can use it. And we can add our technique to web function like Booking.com, Expedia.de, and airlines and cosmetic shops, etc., etc. Everything what has to do with food and cosmetics and things and detergent and whatever you're gonna buy, you can use the app for that, or just the technique. And what else we do? We sell reports to retailers for health insurance, to retailers, health insurances, the pharma industry, cosmetic industry, and science. So marketing strategy is, as always, you can go via social media because everyone knows one or is affected himself with allergens, and companies can place their advertisement in our app. And we can buy the users. Is another thing I just told about it. It's a co-check. We can buy the users from them, which will bring us 3 years faster in the market, and we will save lots of money by buying just the already synthesized users. That would be a huge help. And we, of course, we can do PR. Our Professor Superbeer, he has lots of contacts. He's a nerd about being going public with this idea, because he knows that less and less doctors and professors will be going help allergic people if they're just going surgery and stuff. So we need guys like him, and he is looking for people, for doctors in this field. And so he has very good contacts to let's say, to Apothekenumschau. They have 13.7 million prints every second week, and he knows all the people, reporters there, and the boss.
Sorry to interrupt, but could you go a bit faster, because you already exceeded time?
I'm done. I'm just done, and we of course we go Google Ads, and here is the team. This is me and Eric Zass. This is a guy who does the programming. He is very experienced. He used to work in San Francisco for a lot of years. We have Professor Superbeer. He is the contact, and this is the numbers real quick if you want to make a screenshot or so. But if you want to talk later to it, we can do that. So now how do I come back? Okay, here I'm back. Hi.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Urs, for the presentation. I appreciated how you made your pitch deck so fast. So
yeah, thank you for your help yesterday. I just put it together.
We can discuss it if you want, but still, it's great how you did it in a very fast way. So, investors, do you have questions for Urs? No questions.
Yeah, no, I've got a question. Sure. It may have been in the deck and I may have missed it, but what is the accuracy of your software? And the reason
96%.
Okay, because obviously, you were forced to put anaphylaxis into this deck, but you don't want any reputational damage if someone relies on your data.
Yes, we have 96%. This is because of if you go in a supermarket and you have reflections in these fancy packages, and it reflects white on the ingredients text. White is white. You can have no information out of that, right? Or if pictures are out of focus, it doesn't work. But the app will tell you if you do that. If you have a problem with that.
Okay. Any other question?
I can ask other questions. We'll give other people an opportunity.
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. So the image recognition and NLP component of your model, what are you using for the NLP part? Is it just standard modules to pick it up, or something bigger like GPT-3 or something like that? Because the ability to read across multiple languages, I know it translates into a native language, but can it read? Does it have to be in a specific language to start, or can it just be in any language and then translate?
No. We have each language. We have to add each language by hand, because this is very, very, very hard to do. There's a huge exclusion system in it. Let's say when you scan a product and it has, let's say, 6 languages on it. So you have to exclude possibilities like we scanned cookies once and we had always fish in them, and we couldn't find out why. But later we found out that the last two letters of a word in Norwegian and the next 2 letters in a word made fish in Dutch. So it's a lot of work to exclude things like that, to make sure that the people get the right results. And this is a lot of you cannot just add stuff and done, but we have to do it in the proper way.
Yeah, and I guess you can layer into it like probability of language classification, right? So when it'll scan everything and say this is very likely to be Finnish,
Yes,
and then it'll transfer. Yeah.
Thanks for the questions.
Okay, I think we are good, unless someone has a question. Okay, thank you so much, Urs. Thank you, Alexander. And now our next guest is from Pakistan. It's Muhammad. He is the CEO actually and the founder of Breathe.io. Welcome, Muhammad. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm the CTO, founder, and our CEO is Madam Sana Noman. She's right over here. So we're going to do like kind of like a hybrid pitch, if that's allowed with that. No worries with that.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, excuse me, Sana. Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm just going to start.
Yes, please.
Let me just know when you see the pitch.
Yeah, we can see it very well, but your voice is a bit far. Maybe can you remove your mic? Is it possible?
Yeah. Now it's going to be fine, right?
Yeah, it's better. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yes, Sana, whenever you're
Shall we
ready.
start?
Yes.
Okay. 8 million. Does that figure ring a bell? 8 million. 8 million people die every year due to air pollution. According to the World Health Organization, 90% of the world's population lives in areas which do not meet the standards as specified, the air quality standards as specified by the World Health Organization, resulting in 8 million deaths per year. In Pakistan alone, 32 million children are affected from respiratory diseases like bronchitis, asthma, and various other respiratory diseases due to poor air quality. The solution? We present to you Breathe.io. Breathe.io aims to create products that incline the environment for the well-being and longevity of human life. How do we do it? We use these technologies: Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learnings, and the AWS cloud.
And how do we do that? Breathe.io is the smartest air purifier in the world that is utilizing the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to reduce and control the air pollution. And how are we doing that? The data that Breathe.io collects is based on 8 parameters, and the parameters get transferred to the AWS cloud, where there's a machine learning model that gets retrained again and again with multiple data from multiple air purifiers coming over there. And that retrained model is actually able to control the device itself in an automated mode. And the user has a front-end app on the Apple Store and the Google Store. And now the user can actually see all what's happening at the back end as well in a simplified model. The AI model at the back end is able to detect anomalies, able to detect changes in the environment, and even in some cases, fire detection is also possible because those exact parameters are being recorded in accordance with that. Let's talk about a little bit of awards and our traction online.
So we've received some traction and we've received a recognition across the border. We were selected by the government of Pakistan to represent our startup at the Pakistan Pavilion at Dubai Expo 2020. We've also won the Startup of the Year award by Hacker Known. We have also won the World International Innovation Award. We've been featured across numerous spectrums. We recently signed an MOU with the Punjab University, which is one of the leading universities in Pakistan, to provide technical support to their final year students. We were part of the 500 Founder Program, and we were also selected for the She Loves Tech Pakistan program. We were selected by the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan to represent our startup, to represent Pakistan at GITEX, which is an annual exhibition held in Dubai.
And one of the most interesting things that happened in GITEX is we had numerous leads about that. And one of the leads that came up with was a client that's in Qatar, and he wants approximately 50,000 air purifiers to be delivered by the end of the year. And he requested that our air purifiers should have an open API, so he could integrate all the data from the air purifiers in his own app. The deployment of those 50,000 air purifier would actually be in 2,000 schools, and where he would be monitoring the air quality where the children are coming in the classrooms. And now that completely makes our device third-party integratable. So any sort of app or any sort of third-party hardware, it can integrate and communicate with our device using open APIs. Moving forward, let's look at the top 10 air purifiers on Amazon by rating. Now you see the bulb icon, that means it's IoT connected. It would be a bit, it would have the Wi-Fi, it would have the app. But as far as our research goes, there is none that is applying a retrainable model, a machine learning model that is allowed to control the hardware automatically and provide anomaly detection in that regards. And well, price is a comparative factor as well, based on the inflation that's going on in the world as well. So moving forward, let's look at the market growth. In 2018, the market closed at $7 billion, and in 2027, it's going to be a $20 billion market. These are pre-COVID stats stated by the Nasdaq Global Newswire. Our current timeline is in March 2020. At the end of March 2020, our assembly line is going to be up and running, which gives us the ability of producing 20,000 air purifiers per month. 10,000 of these devices will be in malls and stores by June 2020. And we're going to be getting ready once more for GITEX Expo in October. And by the end of December 22, our client from Qatar is going to receive the 50,000 devices in that regards. Now, what we want to target is we want to target 700,000 devices in 5 years. And that sums up to a $50 million revenue in 5 years. Speaking of that, that's just less than 0.5% penetration in the global air purification market. So there's a very high probability we are going to be the next unicorn. Looking forward, I'm just going to give you the makings of Breathe.io, from 3D printing to injection molding and the prototyping and the actual product itself. And then this is our patent. We have a patent number. It's under provisioning in Pakistan. And now we are applicable to file the patent with regards to World International Patent Organization in almost 52 countries. So first you need to fill in the requirement to get it done in your own country. So this is our team of Breathe.io and our wonderful advisors. That's the presentation. Thank you very much. Any questions and answers?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation. So yes, please, if anyone has any questions.
Yes. So 8 million. How many lives of 8 million can you save when your solution is deployed fully?
According to WHO, 90% of the people with the world population is actually affected by bad air quality, because the people living in those air quality conditions do not meet their guidelines.
My question is, yes, I don't need the data. My question is, how many lives would you save out of 8 million deploying your solution?
At least 90% of the lives would be saved.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I've got firstly, a great question from Vince. I really like that. Your device at the moment is, semi-portable desktop or floor device. What is the capability for it to be installed into building infrastructure in the future or sooner?
Perfect, thank you. I'm just going to show you the device. Here's a device in my hand, okay? And I can definitely show you the intersections and everything, but that's going to crunch up a lot of time in that regards. This is our first product. We have more products in the line, like an artificial photosynthesis device that absorbs carbon dioxide and exhales oxygen as well. And then there is a demand for car portable air purifiers. So when we go on the industrial aspect, the whole monitoring system and the HVAC system can be integrated with this device, because the hardware is our own, the PCB is our own, the firmware is our own, the cloud is our own, the software and everything has been developed inside. So for us to actually variate our hardware or software in regards to any requirements, that's not going to be a problem.
Okay, I mean, but sorry, just add-on question. At least from the hardware side, the device is obviously quite small, portable, which is great. Can you scale that up to service like very large areas? The reason I'm asking is because there's increasing.
Sorry, I'd like to pitch in.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'd like to pitch in. I'm an architect by profession. So with these, Yeah, I'm an architect by profession. So in these big buildings, you have these, large scale HVAC systems. Most of the buildings. So you have the air handling units on at separate floors. So we can integrate that in the air handling units, because at the back end you do have the chillers and the devices that are providing hot air and the cold air. But at the individual level where you're catering to floors, individual floors, at that point, yes, we can integrate it. We can scale it up and add the monitoring, which is not available right now in the current HVAC systems, not to this extent.
Yeah, great. No, I was just asking because there's like rapidly increasing demand, especially because of the pandemic, for air purification in large commercial buildings. So it's just, that's why.
True.
Okay,
Any more questions? Yeah. Oh, I got your line, man.
I thought this was my echo. All right. So I would like to thank you all for the amazing presentations. Investors, thank you so much for your attention. I know it's not easy to keep this like the focus throughout the session. I would like to ask you if you can give us any recommendation that can be helpful for startups for their pitchings, maybe a general rule that can help them in their future pitchings. Please do if you have any. If you don't have, it's okay. Okay.
So the general rule is you have to make your business investable, which basically means that you have to develop enough curiosity so people can ask you more time. If investor is giving you another 10 minutes, you actually practical has won your competition. So your main focus should be how do you get more time from any investor in this panel or anywhere you pitch. That is your micro winning strategy. You have to take those baby micro winning steps to go bigger and scalable. So sorry, I'm outside, so I'm going to be very short and brief.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much for the advice. Okay, and so what I would say now is that after the session, I'll be coordinating with investors. We have other investors that couldn't join the session today, but they will be all receiving your pitch decks and your profiles. And hopefully there will be some discussions. And if there is any interest, I would definitely get back to you. Thank you so much. I wanted to mention something. Urs was mentioning that it was really funny that we have people from all over the world. I second that, and I would say it's really great. And this because I think this is a message of peace, because what happened today is dividing our world, and we are actually one world, but we divided it, we humans, into countries. So I thought it might be nice to mention that we are one, and hopefully peace will reign everywhere, and war will stop soon. So yeah, I mean, again, thank you all for joining us. I'll be in touch with you. Yeah. And please, if anyone would like to add anything, feel free before we close the session.
Stay healthy, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you for putting this whole thing together. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. All the best, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark.
Very nice.
Thanks a lot.
Seeing you guys.
Yeah.